Check, check. Check, check. All right, good morning, good morning. Who's here? Who's here? Drift, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. We saw some things, huh?
Meet Cheryl. Hey.
We saw some things. Just something little, something light. Something light, folks. Little something yesterday. Nothing major, right? Just a little move. Just a little move to like 5 and 5 something, 550, which we already knew was coming up. And we already had to expect, again, we never expected it to drop. Appreciate everybody, guys. We did expect it to drop. We'll go over that in a little while. We'll go over that in a little while. But once again, appreciate you guys all stopping in. Welcome back, folks. Drift, Manny, good morning. Good morning, Jack. Good morning. Send me a chart on Twitter. I'll check it out. Annie, good morning. Maze, what's happening? John, the boogeyman strikes, but boogeyman struck on time in the pattern. Nothing changed. All right, we will go into that. I don't know if anybody remembers this pattern we talked about prior to when we're all the way down to like 420 something, 430. The pattern was only set up to go to 540. It was never expected to go all the way up. This pattern has always been a confirmation line, a rejection at the top, come back down below confirmation, which we have just done based upon what he has caused. It's almost like he has somebody working for him understanding this stuff. But we'll go more into it. Give me a second here. I appreciate everybody. Stopping in. You guys could have chosen to be anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me once again. I appreciate you guys all being here as usual. All right. The boogeyman is the funniest thing, though. It always makes me laugh every single time because he always seems to just know the right times, right? And it's just hilarious because we've been putting that out there for weeks now. You know, the whole boogeyman thing. It's just funny because the inbox and the some of the comments and stuff like that will show up with the boogeyman. So it's obviously sticking somewhere because it's funny as hell when I see it. So that's the move. But hold on one second, yeah, guys. Let me get some things rolling, and then we'll have a little conversation about what I'm seeing on this thing. But man, the timing couldn't have gotten any better, right? I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect. It did everything it was supposed to do. Everything I wanted to see so far. Not over yet. Not by a long shot. Right? This is all part of the game. All part of the plan. Let me bear with me 1 second here while we take a look at some stuff, man. Once again, hit the like and subscribe button. We're only going to be here for a little bit. We've been doing some things. That move yesterday was so wild in the Discord yesterday morning, man. It was absolutely nuts. Been doing some more things in there, and obviously other things that are going around in real life. Have been taking a little bit of time away, but I'm still going to try to continue to be here as much as possible, especially when things like this probably occur for us to discuss and keep things at least copacetic, or at least some heads on straight, right? Not for just myself, but for anybody who's been watching this thing for the last 4 years. All right, so without further ado, it was a great payday yesterday. It was fantastic, and they continue. That's all it is. Myself and some guys in the Discord as well. Well, pretty much everybody in the Discord. We all entered in calls on GME at $26.20 with the concept of the double bottom playing out. So about an hour later, it all played out. Not to mention, we also entered in calls for AMC. All right, $5.50 calls. Those went up several 100% in 1 day. So not to toot our own horn, but we have an idea of what's going on here. All right, but hopefully you guys were able to make the best of that situation. It gets stopped short, but we did plan out this pattern to only stop at about $5.40. Again, this is the ascending broadening wedge pattern we've been following for the last several weeks. From about $4.20 all the way to the upside. We did get rejected slightly, roughly around $5.19. Came back for the reaccumulation move, and then from there, that was the cross up that we need to see. What you saw yesterday, in terms of the move upwards, was the 6-hour platinum cross up. We've talked about this a little bit before. They have been delaying it. I think on Monday was the last time I actually streamed. Wow, these number of days went by so quick. But the platinum cross up on the 6-hour was what you saw yesterday. All right, that was the push, which was promptly rejected by the fact that dilution came in. Right, 50 million shares dropped on the market, which obviously is still within the pattern. Nothing has changed. As long as we hold and close above 470, the reaccumulation move, in my opinion, starts for an even bigger move, which will, again, in my opinion, finalize this move probably by sometime next week. I'm thinking somewhere, and again, that $9 range is still the target. Has not changed in this pattern. At this point, you know, I'll get my little trusty brush tool out. Give me a second, let me get that together. Boom. We are now in this portion of this pattern. 540 was the top. It was supposed to be the top. We obviously swept above it, hitting 552 yesterday. 552. We're coming down for this portion. Again, below the confirmation line, which is sitting at the creek line on the 6-hour time frame. Right there. 497. We're come down all the way to retest 470. And now we're going to start this portion where things start to turn around gradually. And then that'll get us the bigger move. The debt to equity line is at 566. We only missed about a couple of cents yesterday. And that, in my opinion, that will give us the final boost we need to get to about $9. Now, is that the top? Can't say. But that is a starting number that I have at this point for roughly about a week from now. All right, maybe slightly a little bit more, but probably a week from now. We still got to keep in mind that we have GME's earnings coming up. All right, so that is going to rub AMC in a way, right? It's one way, shape, or form. But again, all of this seems to still be going according to plan. Nothing is changed. Right? It's still set up to do what it's supposed to do. Hopefully, it just continues to rise. But like I mentioned in the past, if you guys, most of you guys have been here pretty much the entire time with me doing this thing for the last several months. In this situation, now we have AMC now moving in the positive direction with confirmation of the higher lows and the new trajectory and all of those things we've talked about over the last several weeks. AMC is now the things that will come out of AMC, right, will all start to become, will have appearance of being bullish, in my opinion, for the time being, until we get to about $10. $10 is going to, $11 really, but let's use $10 double digits as, you know, just to keep that in mind. But because we now have this higher low set up and we have a new trajectory that's been established that we've been talking about for several weeks, in this situation, we're still looking for the continuation of this thing to happen all the way up until at least the inbound zone of about $11. So until we get there, it's still an opportunity to go up. All right, it's not over yet. This is bullish now. This is bullish. Anything they say, negative or positive, share offering is now technically going to be quote-unquote good dilution. I know it sucks to have to go through it again, but it is good dilution in this sense. It just sucks to have to go through the process. But again, knowing what we know, hopefully you guys have been able to see how this plays out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are pretty seasoned as well. However, knowing how this plays out, this is only part of the game. It has to go. It has to come back down to continue to rise up. So don't get too swayed by what we just saw today. It's part of the game, and I believe the next couple of days to weeks will prove that. So just again, if you are playing this thing, protect yourself. Hopefully you took something off of the top yesterday and sold into strength, which is, I know, is a very hard thing to do, but it's got to sell. You got to train your brain to start to do that, and not be stuck like a deer in headlights. Because when they rip this Band-Aid off, they're going to rip it fast, and that is going to occur again. And when it occurs, you don't want to be stuck holding a bag because you think it's going to go to 1,000. All right, so that's what you want to avoid doing. All right, so just breathe, take it easy. And let's continue to get to these charts and understand what we're looking at so we can be prepared. But this is what we train for, right? This is, like I mentioned that the other day, is remember what we train for. We saw the rip off, the soul snatch on GME. I made sure I put that out. And that's exactly what happened. It was a soul snatch, a 25, almost 23 to 25% move from the top from Friday. All right, it was a soul snatch zone. We talked about that in the past, and it happened. And what happened a few days, a little while later, at the end, right at the spot, I threw out online, 2656 was the area I'd be looking to finally load the boat on Twitter, if anybody's been following that. We did just that, and also picked up $110 calls yesterday right prior to this even happening, knowing that with the volume thinning out the way it was, those calls went up several 100% on $110 calls, and we're nowhere even near that, obviously. So those were for January's, mind you, and they went like crazy right before your good friend that everybody's waiting for, Mr. Kitty Cat or whatever his name is, decided to drop a tweet based on the fact that he's looking at the charts the same way we're looking at the charts. So we have an idea of where things are, and obviously he knows where to, make his influence felt. And there you go. We got a move that was absolutely wild of about 11% on the day. And here we are back, kind of retracing just a little bit, getting ready, prepared for the next move, going into earnings on Tuesday. All right, so got all that out the way. But again, that was the soul snatch. It happened early. That was a soul snatch we've been expecting. It was roughly from the bottom, about a 20% move. From top to bottom, about 20% down. Not that damn bad for them to shake a lot of folks out, scare people, get people thinking it's going bearish, people buying puts. And the puts got squeezed. We watched the puts get rolled in. A couple folks in the Discord saying, hey, puts are coming in. I'm like, I don't know, just wait a little bit, and then pop. That's just what happened. But that's all based on the chart, guys. But either way, good play. Congratulations to anybody that jumped in on something at that time and, again, sold into some strength, took some money out, roll your positions into a longer time frame, whatever you did to manage the position properly to get more time out of this thing. I think that was the move to do, and I think you're going to be just fine in probably the next couple of weeks here. We got to let earnings complete. Once earnings complete, bro, just watch out for GME. GME is out of here. I mean, like, he'll go to like $70, like at least, in like the next couple of weeks. So no worries there. And AMC will go with it. You obviously can see the effect. If people thinking that these stocks don't move together, yeah, you're going to find out. If you don't think so, they do move together, quite obviously. All right, so anyways, I went through that whole thing, but I appreciate everybody listening to this whole spiel here. But let me go and take a look at some of the stuff that's in the chat room. We'll start going through the conversations for the next little bit while we're here. Not going to stay long here, but just definitely wanted to touch in, man. All right, with Boogeyman, yeah, no doubt. So we hit 468. Now they can create short-term short exempt shares Monday on the rise. Yeah, that's part of the plan, man. I think it's all part of it. J. Cole, you already know, man. J. Cole's been killing it, bro. J. Cole, good stuff, man. Good payday to add, no doubt. It's definitely ad zone in my opinion on AMC. That 50 million shares will be bought up pretty damn quick in the next few weeks, in my opinion. So don't get dissuaded by what you saw today. It's falling right in line with what's supposed to happen. Oaks, what's happening, man? Welcome back. And let me take a look at that chart that you sent me too, Jax. I'll see what that's all about. I'll check the inbox here. I sent a chart with dilution periods and what the stock did during those times. 1/25/2021 announced exactly. January 27th announced, dilution's over, squeezed during that time. And yeah, and you also can go into January, same concept. Into June, right? There was the whole thing with Mudrick and all of that. It's very similar. In a bullish trajectory, right? The everything changes. The information starts to flip. Things that used to be bearish will now become bullish. Anything they say that's bearish will have a bullish take on the chart, anyways. Even if it's a short-term downside, it will bounce very fast. Right, and that's exactly what we have going on here. This is what we've been seeing. We've been talking about this on a lot of the earnings plays that have been coming up, right? The earnings, they drop it on earnings, even though every stock is damn near bullish right now. They'll drop it 20% on earnings, and a few days later, you're at new all-time highs or a new high on the stock. It's the same thing because everything right now is in a bullish move to the upside, especially these smaller caps. So it's part of the game. They're going to try to shake some folks out while they snatch your shares up and then they ride the price up even higher. So it's quite clear what's going to happen next. You just got to stay the course and understand what we're looking at. Hey, what's going on, Jesse? All right, Jesse, killing it, man. Oaks Way, AMC and GME are in a great position. Patience is wise. Absolutely, bro. Totally could not agree with you more. All right, so with that being the case, let's see here. Yeah, GME is getting ready. AMC is getting ready. No worries, man. No worries on that at all. Let's see here. But let's go and double check a couple of things. We did enter some plays this morning. Lucid, right? Big play. I'm expecting Lucid to really start making some moves. They did announce a new truck they're going to be putting out, which is interesting. It had about a 10% move so far today. So that's that in this morning in the Discord. and a couple other plays, man, that just went absolutely nuts. So this is looking real good, man. We were I'd be happier this week with the way things are playing out, man. AVGO, nice play as well. I think this thing is about to really start to do some damage real soon. And also SMCI might be a mean fake out. We've talked about SMCI. Very mean fake out. So just be careful with SMCI. Watch it. Yes, SMCI gets above $51. Watch out. This thing's going to $300 again. off of these prices. So it might have been a mean fake out the entire time. So just be mindful of that. Shout out to again also folks that picked up DraftKings, which is finally starting to make its rounds toward about $47. So continue watching that. Again, I'm looking for $60 hit prior to the Super Bowl. Not exactly, but I've been holding calls for $60 for quite a while here. D-Dog still going. All right, $200 is a target on that. So this just list goes on and on, man. This just plays everywhere. Opportunities all over the place, as long as you open your eyes to them. All right. Yes, sir. Happy Friday, man. Welcome back, Paul. Next couple of weeks on TGT. Well, TGT is that similar setup. It's yeah. I guess my thoughts. These are my thoughts on TGT next couple of weeks. It's still in trajectory to turn around. It's going to continue to get that bounce around this area about 130 psychological. Once it continues to hold clearly, that's my thoughts right here. It will go right back up. What you're looking for is a break above $33, $34, which is probably going to happen very soon. And once you're clear at $34, watch out for the move up. You're probably going to head back up towards about 145, 150. But it's a good spot to go long on, in my opinion, still. Let's see what happens here. Shorter term, look at the 1 hour. Oops. Let's see here. I look at the 4 hour. 4 hour give us a little better indication of what to expect. Notice, take a look at money flow. Keep an eye on money flow. Keep an eye on how that's looking, which is kind of an inverse head and shoulders deal happening here on a 4 hour with a rising support line. All right, a little bit of an uptrend. It's a good sign. All right, even shorter term, a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders on the money flow, and eventually going to be a downtrend break of the money flow. So there's some things happening here that are telling you that this wants to move upwards. But and also, not to mention, just from a standpoint of it just being the time of year where people do a lot of shopping, you know, it's something to pay attention to from that front. And I mentioned in the past, XRT is definitely something to watch, which is the retail sector. As long as that sector is continuing to pump strong, your Amazons are going to go, your Walmarts, anything that's in the retail sales, which is perfect for this time of year where people spend an exorbitant amount of money, are going to continue to rise. So Target is, in my opinion, is just a discount buy in this entire area until it gets back to about 160-ish. So, you know, it's not going to go anywhere, especially, you know, there's a couple different reasons. Obviously, you know, thrifty shoppers and then a lot of shopping. So we put those together. It's a buying opportunity, in my opinion. All right, Iron Man, what's going on, man? Hey, no doubt, Paul. You got it anytime. I appreciate everybody once again stopping in. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. Hanging out with us here just a little bit while we watch things get ready to moon off. Let's see here. Also, as well as the sector XRT as well as XLF. All right, both of those is just, you know, the idea for money being spent and ways to spend it. All right, the retail sector as well as the financial sector, and a lot of the ones that are making the biggest moves are obviously the ones that are around. They have a component of AI or, you know, tech attached to them, like a SoFi or, you know, stuff like that. Or PayPal. They're gonna make a lot of money this month. So it's just how people are moving. Obviously, they will coincide with how Amazon moves. So those two right there, that whole entire sector, XLF and the idea for XRT, will continue to be, you know, pretty much running the entire month. When I say running, I mean more so just like making movements and something to pay attention to while things are happening with the month that we're sitting in. So just watch those two. Let me put these on my list. XRT. Yeah, so there's the retail sector here. It's been compressed for a long time, and here we are kind of breaking out of that. So there we go. So this thing, when we first started watching it, it was at 79 bucks or so, or actually much lower than that, probably like 70, 79 bucks. But once it broke out this little trend line, we have this little X sitting here, which is going to be your move up. You're sitting at the golden pocket right now. So, and anything that's retail associated, the GME happens to be retail associated. So, you know, it's right here, just chilling in the golden pocket, hanging out here for now until it breaks out of here. And it's kind of making a little bit of a pattern here, like a little bit of a wedge. Kind of, again, more showing more compression. It's happening in this range. And very soon, you'll get another breakout. And that's the target up here still at 86 bucks, 86.68. Not a very big move, but a move nonetheless that will have an effect on all those other companies that we just mentioned that are in that retail, you know, sector where people buy a lot of stuff. So it's just one way to do it. Again, GME is in that sector, so GME is going to moon off. That will probably moon off as well. All right. All right, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you all stopping by, man. Once again. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Shout out to anybody who was on that Bitcoin run. I don't think I was here last on the Bitcoin run. Bitcoin hit 104,000. Crazy numbers, right? I mean, people were saying Bitcoin was too expensive at 50,000. People were saying it was too expensive at 70,000. People were saying it was too expensive at 20,000. What will people say next? Is it too expensive at 100? And until they see it at 250, and they were like, "Damn, why didn't I buy it at 250?" So it is what it is, man. And a lot of people, you know, thinking they're geniuses off of buying Bitcoin, but you know, it's just supply and demand. I mean, it's kind of simple as that. They're not making it anymore. Just like not making any more gold, right? Or any more land, or anything else that has a finite number to it. All right. The more time that goes by, the less is available, the more valuable it becomes. I mean, that's kind of how it is. So line yourself with that mentality, and then people want it too. And there's also a, I say want it, there's a market for it. Like people are looking to trade it or buy it or have a stake in it. It becomes valuable, more valuable over time. So, congratulations on the Bitcoin run, folks. $104,000, which the target was only 100,003 or something like that, the short-term target. But this thing can go up to about 250 soon. So don't think it won't. It will. But first and foremost, I want to see it dump. I want to see it dump so GME can run. That's what I want to see. So. Very important. So I'm perfectly fine with GME dumping. I mean, with Bitcoin dumping to like 80,000 and then GME run up. That's what I want to see. Simple. You know, the money's got to come from somewhere. The money's got to come from somewhere. What's happening, Bang? Welcome back. Welcome back. Just hanging out for a quick little bit. Wanted to chime in on the AMC move, the dump, which is really the talk of the day. Everything else is just like, you know, we're just going over because it's necessary. SPY continuing on. I do believe SPY is going to be heading towards 613. It's getting very close. We're at 608 on SPY, just about. 609 was it today. So we're getting close to the target. The top target, in my opinion, is going to start to be around that 620 mark. We've talked about this for a very long time now. $620 is still on the way. First short-term target, first and foremost, before hitting that top, I have 613. All right, and then from there, we'll see. And this white line is the top trend line from way back in the beginning of the end of the market drop off back at the 2008 crash, all right, for the real estate crash. So it's a very, very crucial area that you won't just break like that. I doubt you'll break it like that because this is all the way back here, 2008 crash. All right, this white line was a support line that you held up above, and you'd be retesting it at about 620. You also retested it at the top before dropping off after the COVID bounce, where a bunch of money was pumped into the market, which caused this a very high push up, and then we dropped off all the way back to 350, and it was continued. This would also be, again, another top of about wave 5, right? If we look at it from that perspective, a fifth wave top for the entire market ever since way back here at the lows of 2009, 2008, 2009. So we're right there at the end of this whole thing. Hopefully it keeps going. If it breaks, if it breaks 620 and goes higher, then we're going at like $700 or $800. But we got to keep what's in front of us as the mentality in that case. But again, if you go up here, you're going to 700 if you break this fight line, which is at 620 right now. But I don't think you'll do that easily. But we'll see. Anything is possible. We don't know how things are going to wind up with what the things plan out. And then again, the administration, there's a lot happening with the next year. So we'll find out. But ultimately, I think that move up to 620. It could take its time because I really think GME and AMC and all of these the meme stocks, will probably hit that top level, all right? Because it tends to happen every single time. I mean, we've seen this for 4 years already, right? Where when the AMC and GME really start to go, I mean, they're bullish now. They're in bullish trajectory. It's different now, but when they really start to go, that's when they want to dump the market. So just be mindful of that. I still have, again, okay, so it's kind of flickering around here. But anyways, I still have the top of the market being somewhere around, again, 620, and I think that's when we'll see the real move kind of top off with GME and AMC. Now, it would be nice to, run to $20-$30 on AMC. That'd be cool, but they're going to probably relax it a little bit. I mean, it won't happen all in one shot, and GME hopefully can be at $100 by then. If GME's $100 by then, no fear after that at that point. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Manny, look, sound, bro. I'm like looking at sound like, yeah, Manny's in at $2. He's happy. He's a happy dude because I'm looking at the port, bro, like, oh man, this thing is up over 300-400% right now. Whatever it was when I looked at it earlier. I hit $15 this morning, almost $16 this morning. I'm like, wow. But it was definitely an opportunity to short, though. I mean, if you want to go buy puts on it, I mean, you still hold long your shares, whatever. You don't have to get rid of those at all. But yeah, this thing ran up to $16, almost $16 this morning, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good opportunity to buy puts on it. But I'm like, I'm just gonna let it do what it does. But it's a fantastic move, man. Excellent. Congratulations on that play, man, because it's been this wildness watching it happen the way it's been happening. But there's still more on the table. I think we talked about this being the area I expected it to hit was about $16. But that's the first area. I think you can definitely go to about 28, if I remember right. I haven't looked at it since then. Yeah, $28. So $28 is still the target. So there's your MOAS right there. All right, and that's off. Manny bought in roughly around $2. So that's not bad. You get to $28, that won't be that bad. Now you will get a little bit of bounce around here. You are at the golden pocket, $13. You're trying to hold the 707. 1311 was obviously the number. 1318 is where we hit as the bottom today. If we start holding above the 707, that's going to be nice, because you will probably build a base and then start to push again one more time. $18 was the all-time high. You break all-time high, well, you just keep on going. So it looks fantastic, man. AMC at $16 for Christmas, bro. That'd be fantastic, man. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, them calls, the remainder of them calls, and they were nice, and they just yanked it, obviously. But the majority, as long as we took a lot off the table yesterday, I think we were just fine. That's all that has to happen. You gotta know when to sell into some strength, take someone off the table, man. It's important. Yes, it's tough to be gangster about it sometimes, but you got to. Alright. That's how the world goes around. Things just continue to go around and around. It's very necessary. Alright, there's $14 coming back on that. On SoundHound, very nice. Rivian, we've been talking about Rivian since $9. And Volkswagen decided to jump in, and look where we are now. Volkswagen, this is still, in my opinion, heading towards about $15. Getting very close to that level, and it can get even crazier. And I entered back into myself and some folks in the Discord as well. Entered back into some lucid calls this morning for about a month out. So we're gonna see how things work out with that. But yeah, man, this is everything's looking fantastic, man. Everything's looking good. Everything's all right with the world. Don't get too down on yourself with the whole dilution thing. It's part of the game. He's doing what he has to do for the company. You know, let's. I mean, this is obviously the conversation at hand. I mean, I'm trying to talk about other stuff, but I'm pretty sure that news rocked everybody this morning. You know, but that's what it does. That's what it's supposed to do, right? But I come here like a, like a forecaster, or just like it's like waking up to rain, and when is the rain gonna stop, or when is it gonna be a snowstorm, right? I'm a weatherman out here. I'm trying to be a weatherman, and that's what it is. So I'm up here just speaking my piece on that. But so far, we are still inside a lot of different trend lines. We're also still holding the uptrend from the all-time lows. So all is right with the world. See that? Up all-time low, bounce, 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 bounce. The fake out happened down once again to 426, which we reclaimed this trend line, the trajectory, and bounced right off of 468, which is the uptrend line of the all-time lows. So as long as we keep doing that, that's all we need to see. And it will go right back up. $9 is the first target. $11 is the second target. If we break $11, well, you just squeeze. And that's it. You go to 20, 25, 30, 40 maybe. Very fast. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Alright. Yeah, things are getting busy out here, man. What can I say? It's a time of year where things are a little busy. I'm in the Discord every single day. Regardless, if I'm not here, I'm in there with them. We're taking plays, but as far as being able to jump back on in this capacity, I'm gonna do the best I can to continue to be with you guys as much as possible. But yeah, but still, I'm always gonna pop in at the right time. If not on here, I'm definitely gonna be on Twitter in some way, right? But we're making things happen. It's this time of year, man. It's really busy during this season for a lot of different reasons, trying to cram multiple things in at the same time. So. But either way, hero of the day, appreciate you being here as usual, and everybody else as well, guys. I do appreciate everyone. Hopefully you can like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back regardless, man. Let's see here. Is GME looking like it's going to move for before 1? Let's take a look at GME. I think GME, all right, Pablo, I think you said it was what, 2750? 2750 was potential max pain, but they're gonna want to try to hold this thing down from 2877. All right, that's the number we want to try to keep it under, because of the fact that's the number that sets it off again. All right, every time you cross that 2877, it'll get a jolt like we got yesterday. I mean, that was a start. A 30-minute platinum cross, shot it up. You crossed 2677, obviously with the tweet. It ran up, and that was the end of that. Off the double bottom, which is where we entered those calls. All right, we entered them like right here in this range, and then that was it. The double bottom was it. But as far as this, I mean, all you're really doing is having a little bit of a retracement. Right, it's a very steep downtrend. It looks like it wanted to go back and retest about 2791. It looks like it could potentially still do it. Let's take a look at volume, but volume is also very dried out on this push down. So with that situation, with that being the situation, right, it could try to break out and then try to run up towards about that $30 level again. Right, it's making higher lows, but on very low volume as well. So it's just a couple things happening here. Could be a little of a fake out for another move back down, because that was a very parabolic move yesterday. All right, higher lows on lower volume, so it's possible it could come back down, which looks like it's probably going to be what happens for the time being. You just come back down here to retest the breakout, which is the creek line on the 30-minute, and then kind of hang around, which is also a 30 moving average on the 8-hour time frame. So this would probably be your next support. You rebuild from here and then try to go back up. But for it to push out right now, it doesn't exactly look like it for the moment. It could, but it doesn't look like it for the moment. I'll say that much. I mean, there's a lot of people that get a pop like this. It's, again, short the pops is the mentality. The pop happens, short it. And but most people are buying into it, thinking, okay, well, he just tweeted, so it's going to keep going up. So they're the ones that kind of get held, buying into the strength versus buying into the weakness, which is, again, it's a mindset shift to try to buy the lows and highs, but a lot of people tend to buy the run-ups, in the meme stocks, and they take advantage of it, and that's what it is. But right now, it technically looks like, from a technical standpoint, it looks like it may want to come down to about 27.90 to retest the creek, and then from there push up. But again, it's Friday, it's max pain, and all that kind of stuff. Unless there's a big volume push that happens, in the next little bit, that'd be nice. But I can't say that I see that right now. All right, it's all part of the plan, Peter Parker. Welcome back, my man. Amy, 15-minute turning up. Let's take a look at Amy. All right, and also ASTS. I know J. Cole. I know you picked those up this morning, right, in Discord. ASTS is about to break out. ASTS will go to $30 if you break 25.51. Watch out. All right, you picked those up this morning, I know. So 25.51, you're breaking out, and you're gonna go to $30. So watch out for ASTS in a minute here. On the 6 hour, but then they immediately crossed it back. Exactly, you got me, John. So that's exactly what happened. They crossed it down. They don't want to see that cross. They don't want to see that. That right there. That right there will end all the shenanigans very fast. You saw what happened. That was what we got yesterday. That was the example of it, and there it is right here. All right, that was it. That when it happened, wham, you go right to 450, and then what they do, he diluted on it. Because again, the only time you've ever seen this platinum cross on AMC where it's positive on AMC in general on the 6 hour time frame is only on. I'll go back real quick. It's only a 6 hour. The only time you ever saw it. Let me remove the lines here. Hide the drawings. Okay. Only time you ever saw that. Oh boy, come on now. What am I doing? Hide drawings. Hide drawings. Okay. It's on squeezes. That's it. You got it here during Ape Squeeze. You got it here during the March Weird Squeeze, the $34. And you got it on January Squeeze. Those are the only times you ever got that cross. It's only happened in a positive direction once, twice, 3 times. Other than that, this is the 4th time that it's ever happened. And what they do, they're like, nah, stop it, quick. We need to figure this thing out because it's gonna run. They don't want that. They don't want to see that cross. They don't want to see it. However, again, another indication I want to make here is that on the daily, all right, from a multi-time, I mentioned this the other day as well. Our last stream, what was that, Monday? From the hourly and weekly perspective, all right, we have a hourly and weekly that has, let's see, right now, let's see, they may be reversing it. Let's see if it actually has reversed now. They're gonna fight this one, but this one takes a little longer to hold up, to kill. All right, the hourly above the weekly. All right, that is still engaged at this point, which means buy the dip. That's what that means. However, we're gonna let the chart do what it needs to do. All I want to see is a close today is above 470, in my opinion, and from there, all's right with the world, man. But that was it, bro. You totally got it. All right, Manuel, ASTS was another $2 entry. Oh, good money, man. You see, Manuel's killing it, bro. Manuel, you got the right idea. Manuel's got this whole thing set up. Manny's got the whole thing set up, man. Good stuff, bro. Let's see, hide indicators. So let's go back. Here it is. Here's your move. $2. That's like the absolute bottom. Right? What was it, 198? And right now you're fighting at the 2618. Around that $29 mark is where we're heading. Roughly on this move would be about $30. So that's where it's gonna go. So that's not a bad play, bro. You're looking real nice. Another banger. Congratulations, man. All right. Let's see. GME is looking a little jumpy. Let's go back to GME real quick. And Apple, again, Apple is going to 266. I'm going to say that a couple times till it gets there. So congratulations if you're holding long on Apple. 266 is the next target, regardless. And then from there, you're looking at 280 and then 295 ultimately. So you got that breakout we talked about on Monday, and it's just been trucking along ever since. There was some news that came out, shook a couple hands, all good, but either way, Apple is still a great stock to go long on, no matter how high the price is. All right, because it will go up there. Tesla, I mean, it's gonna go up there. It's gonna keep going. Tesla's aim right now is at $400, 403. So we talked about that the other day as well. So Tesla will keep on rising up. So keep on holding and lining and loading up your Tesla bags, because we're almost at all-time highs. And when you break all-time highs, next target I'm looking at is $603. So 485, then 603 ultimately. So we'll talk about that another time. But let's take a look at GME. This is looking a little jumpy. Did they get the breakout of the downtrend? Because GME has this thing, when it gets really low on volume, then it just all of a sudden goes straight up. So let's take a look. What time is it? 12:10. I'm still hanging around for like a couple more minutes. Not gonna stick around long. Just wanted to pop in, cool some heads off of this dilution situation, aka from a Christmas present from the boogeyman. Warm hugs and kisses from the boogeyman. If your neighborhood friendly boogeyman. All right, you just how he does. Now he gets down. He couldn't let you go without a little gift. Oh man, he couldn't just let it go. He was like, you know what? Let me do something for these guys. And I'm a silverback. This is what I do. I'm a silverback out here. He's silverback, bro. Dude is something else. Timing is great, but we on to him, man. I'll tell you that much. We on to him. All right, so it's looking jumpy. They're probably gonna drop it. So here are your oscillators on the 5-minute. Let's take a look at the 30. Maybe it can do something. Let's see something real quick. 1 hour. Nah, they're gonna drop it. It's gonna go back to about 27.50. Its max pain is around 27.50. So, I mean, unless it really gets some volume, but I don't see a reason for it to do it right now. It's lunchtime as well. All right, volume tends to die off around this time. Let's see something on the 5-minute. Yeah, nah, it's probably not going to drop, but they may just sideways trade it. Let's see, 5-minute, 15-minute. Nah, it's probably going to drop. It'll probably come down to like low 28 flat, somewhere around that area. But you're not, in my opinion, it won't go up. It could. This is GME we're talking about, but in my opinion, you're probably going to come back down for the retest. At least once. Like low 28, 28.04, 28.03, 27.89 even. Somewhere in that range. Low, just under $28. And you may finish the day around there. And then for Monday, that's when I expect the, things start to pick up because of the potential hike going into earnings. You'll get another move up going into earnings. And then at earnings, it's possible, I don't know what's going to happen at earnings, but it's possible to come down on earnings again. Right? It's possible. Because that's what they do with bullish charts. Now, again, the earnings has been the wild card. Because, again, I talked about that in the past. December 4th was the original earnings. And then when they moved it 10 days, everything got thrown off. It's like, okay, they planned one thing, but somebody threw a monkey wrench into it, and then something else has to happen. So, everything got turned off. Again, I didn't expect this 25%, 20% drop to happen until we got to about $37, which would have been ideal because we would have held $30 as support. But now we're down here underneath $30 trying to do this. You know, it's still questionable. Ultimately, the chart looks bullish, regardless, on the weekly and everything else. But still, you know, we just want to be wise. That's all. Want to be wise. But on earnings, you could potentially have another push down for another reaccumulation and then go, probably about a couple weeks after earnings. But they would love to trap more people here, in this range. All right, get some people in, yank it on earnings, and then from there build it up another base, another double bottom, because GME loves double bottoms. We mentioned this a few times here. That's the same thing that happened yesterday, where we went from $26 two different times, and we ran up like crazy yesterday. GME loves double bottoms, so in that regard, it's very possible that we get one more push down before this thing launches off. All right, but still, regardless of anything you're seeing, you know, all of this doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, all the stuff you're seeing on the 4 hour, it doesn't mean anything. GME is going to $200, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, but again, I know it's hard to see it. Maybe hard to see it if you're not seeing it already, but it's going to happen one way or another. So take the opportunity to, you know, put yourself in position. Whatever you got to do. You know, do extra shifts. You know, buy some extra calls somewhere else, make the money double. I mean, not financial advice. Do what you will, but you know, at the same time, it's gonna go up there. You know, we'll come back here in a month or two, maybe less, and we'll be like, oh man, remember way back when GME was $20? I should have bought it back then. All right, so this is what you don't want to be in that spot. So whatever you need to do, it's worth doing. Okay. All right, so that's the call, man. But that's all, folks. I just wanted to at least drop in and at least shine some light on the AMC situation outside of the GME situation, because again, they are going to rub against each other. Whatever you see on GME happening, AMC will get some of that as well. All right, and AMC technically can have a good little run itself, at least to $11, at least to $9, excuse me. And then if we get 11, if we break 11, then well, that's why on Twitter I said starting number. All right, starting number. I know some people are like, bro, you need to move the decimal points over a few times, bro. All right, look, listen, I don't know about that. Look at the chart here. And I don't want to sit here, because I get it. The mentality sometimes is a little bit different between, you know, the buy and holders and then the traders, or you know, both, all right, for the stock, whatever. But the mentality is, you know, 10 cents doesn't mean anything, or a 10% move doesn't mean anything. It does mean a lot when you trade options. A 10% move can make you a lot of money on the stock, all right? And whoever's here that doesn't have that mentality, or at least hasn't put the time in to try to learn this thing one way or another, you know, I think do it quickly to learn something, because you can really change some things regardless of what's happening with your with your position long term on AMC, all right? Because the long term position and your short-term play or short-term trades, you may have to treat those differently, right? Or at least look at them differently in the idea of being able to produce some income off of this stuff, right? So in that sense, you got to look at those two things, you know, separately, right? At the end of the day, it will all make sense, because if you're going to take the gains that you make from your trades and dump back into your longs, well, it just speeds up the process. Everything gets faster, right? But you gotta, some people that respond on Twitter is just nuts sometimes. But yes, a 10% move can make you a lot of money, all right? And I'm pretty sure people felt that yesterday. If you had calls, even if you had a $5 call you picked up, or whatever, or a $4.50 call from last week, or $4.26 when we first started talking about it way back when, it would have made a big difference, all right? To the tune of hundreds, if thousands of dollars. So that's my rant. Other than that, folks, that's all we're gonna do for today. Do appreciate all you guys in here just hanging out. No fear on AMC. Continue to watch this thing. I do believe we are moving up into the next phase of this thing, to at least this area. Again, $9, 10, possibly 11, and then we will continue to make our way within this trajectory, which goes all the way back up to the highs. The creek line is steadily approaching from the daily. All right. So that's another thing to keep paying attention to. As time goes on, this is going to continue to get closer and closer and closer and closer until it gets down here. And hopefully continue to pressure upwards. And this will be the one that breaks everything. And then you really start to go. All right, so that's all, folks. Appreciate everybody stopping in. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but do appreciate you stopping and hanging out with me today. Hopefully provided at least a little bit of information, some time to just hang out and chill, or at least some, at very most, you know, a little bit of entertainment in the meantime. All right. Hit the like, subscribe button. If you're interested in joining us in the Discord, because we're there every day regardless. If I'm not here, I'm in there every day. We're taking these plays and making things happen. I have a link in the description. I'll actually post it here if you guys want to go and check it out, hang out with us in there as well. Take some of these plays. Some major moves have been made over the last several days. And, man, we are really been killing it up in there. So hopefully you guys would like to join us in that and learn a little bit more about the strategy we use. And take it from there, folks. I'll post that in just a second here, 1 minute. It is at this point, I think somebody, who was it? Will's Way. I think one of the guys in the group asked for a change in price just for the holiday season. I did go ahead and put a holiday season price up there, so you can check that out. And hopefully you guys take advantage of that. All right, we'll be there every day regardless of what's happening in the live streams here. Link is has been pinned to the chat. Up to you guys if you're in there or not. We're there. All right. Other than that, man, I appreciate everybody again stopping in. Like, subscribe. I'll be checking with you guys in on Twitter. And yeah, keep the eyes on the prize, folks. Remember, buy back your time. Enjoy your weekends. We'll be back here. Try to get back to a little bit of a swing thing on Monday. All right, a regular full-fledged swing back on Monday. I'll keep the train moving forward. All right. Appreciate everybody. You guys enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Make sure you spend time with loved ones. Handle what you're gonna handle for the weekend. Buy the time back. Improve the opportunities, and make your outcome income for the next few months out, folks. All right. Take it easy, man. Peace.